Hey, it's Carl here, and welcome back to How to Blog Effectively Part 2. We're going to be covering a few more things today. Last week, we talked about setting up some of the basics of your blog page, and today I'm going to go through basically some of the components within your blog post that's going to get you to have high effect on people when you're syndicating your blog out. I know I've got some people coming on the panel. They've just got some issues trying to get in, so hopefully they'll get on board here shortly. But so what I'm going to talk about is basically when you're creating your blog post, you know, what you want to have in your blog post, the different SEO settings in there. And don't think it's a lot of work, because it's not. It's very, very easy and quick to put that together. And just a few of the components in there that you need to activate to make sure that you have an effective post when you are posting on social media like Facebook, Google, Pinterest, Twitter, that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm just going to get right into the meat and potatoes here right away here. So let me just load up my screen here, and we'll do some screen sharing. And hopefully you can see my screen right now. So on Tuesday, we talked about basically your theme settings, like what you need to do with your theme settings in here. And I'll just go through that real quickly with the theme settings, what you want to do in here. You know, we talked about the opt-in settings. That's having, if I bring up my blog right here, let me just, actually, I got to go back and load my blog up first. Okay, just so I can go back and forth to it to show you. Okay, so what I covered last week was the theme settings and the opt-in settings, okay, which is basically this here. You remember I was talking about, you know, doing a personalized video. You know, this video here that I have on here, it you know, welcomes them to my site. I tell them a little bit about what they expect to see on the site, and you know, if they wanted to get involved in having a blog site like this and so forth, to, you know, to click get it now, that sort of thing. Okay, and then again, we had the footer, which is at the very bottom, okay, which is another call to action. We talk about call to actions all the time, okay. And then of course I got one last call to action down here too. And then I went through and I talked about the actual widgets, okay, and that's what you're seeing on the side here is the widgets, which is on the sidebar here. These are all widgets that you can put in here. You can have different things in here, and you can see some of my most recent posts. Like, you know, this is my morning post I just had here. It shows a nice fancy $1 million ring that Empower does. I talked about the Powerball yesterday and a few other things, and then of course, you know, you got the post categories with all the history of all your posts that you've done, the archives by month, that sort of thing. Okay, and then I have my Hangout videos, which for some reason aren't showing again here, and then I have a traffic feed down here, so you can see all the people that are actually coming in and going on to my my site from all over the place. Okay, so what I'm going to be talking to you about is how you can make your posts look like this, okay, on your own website, and then how you'll make them on, if we go on to Facebook, and I'll just go through here like this, how they would turn out like this on your Facebook page, okay? So this is where the syndication comes in off of your blog. So let's just go and we'll look at the post I did today, okay? And the post that I did today was, can you be a top earner? The answer is yes, okay? So we're going to go in, and what I do is I have a standard set of keywords or mapping words or targeted tags that I use, okay? And all I do is I have this on a list. Like, I've got a separate list where I have my blog keywords and that I copy every day, okay? These are the standards that I put in here into my post every single day. Plus, I'll put whatever extras they on the topic, such as, you know, top millionaire online or top earner online, that sort of thing. That will be an extra tag that I'll put in here. Now, tags are like keywords, okay? They're used in social media. They're used by indexing with the spiders and so forth. So you want to make sure that the information you have is concurrent with the information you have in your state. Now, some of these keywords may not all show up on here. You know, when I have my name on here, it's every blog post is then tagged to my name. Okay, I have my picture on here, which is tagged to my picture. You know, so David Wood I don't have on here, but sometimes he's in my posts. I always have him in here because David Wood is connected to Empower Network, and Empower Network is part of the tags that are on here. And you can see I got Empower Network, I got Empower Network blogging system. Anything we do with Empower Network's on here. Now, Collat2, I have Collat2 on here too. Now, sometimes I may not show it on here, but Collat2 is basically tagged to Empower Network, and that's how those keywords are then intertwined into your texting. Okay. The other thing that I always use is the call to action. Okay. The main call to actions that I use are the comments agree and disagree. I'll use either 1, 2, or 3 of those. I'll use either the comments 1, 2, or 3, or one of the social shares. Okay. So you pick one of those that you want to have in your post, and you select it. And I'll show you what it looks like on the post here in a second. Okay. And then, of course, you want to have an SEO title. I just copy the title of what my blog is, okay, right up here. And then I paste the keywords in that I have on my tags, okay, and just a basic description of what this post is about. And usually I explain what the post is about in the first paragraph. So I usually just copy that, and that is what my description is, okay? Now, the other thing that I do is I always have pictures in my posts, always. I have a video and a picture in my posts, as a matter of fact, okay? Now, the reason I have that is that people are audio-visual on everything. You know, there are some people that'll just read books and, you know, they can just go with the texting. But that is actually a small percentage out there. The majority percentage of people need to be they need to have visual stimulation, okay? That being pictures or video, okay? And then you got the audio side of that stimulation, which is the either an audio that plays or a video, okay? That's why I always have a video in my post. Always have pictures in here because the pictures attract people. They get them to read further when they see the pictures that are in here. That's why you'll see sometimes in books, when you're reading books, they'll have a picture in there, or they'll have something that stands out boldly to you, something that has visual stimulation in there, okay? So it's very, very important that you have that. Now, your posts don't have to be that long. You can see my posts are not that long. They're just a couple of paragraphs long in most cases. Sometimes you don't even need that. Sometimes you can have a paragraph with just a video in there. Sometimes you can have a video with just a couple of lines in there, and your video does everything it needs to do. And my videos always have a call to action on them. So that's why I always have a get more info button below it. Okay. Michael Martin talks about this a lot when he talks about the way that he posts in his blogs. And I believe John Oates does the same thing. Now, there's quite a few others that probably do too. Sorry if I left you out. But, you know, this is just to give you an idea of what you need to do. Now, what I do is out of all the pictures I have in here, I've got 3 pictures to choose from. And I was kind of torn because all 3 pictures were actually pretty good that I could have used. But I thought the one that stood out the most and probably had the most impact would have been the diamond ring, or the Millionaires Club diamond ring. That's what will get people to actually go and look at this. So these features, these feature images are very, very important, okay? What you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a feature image in there. Now, it's always going to default to show feature image. You don't really want to do this because what it's going to do is it's going to put a big giant picture of that picture at the top of your blog. So it'll be right up here when your blog shows right here. Okay, it's actually going to have a big picture right here, and then it's going to show your blog. Okay, so you really don't want to have that on there. What you want to do is you want to have the feature image so that when you do your post on social media, it's going to show up, but it's going to show up in a smaller type of thumbnail. Okay, so what you do is you hide the feature image from your actual post, but what it's going to do, it's going to add it to all of your syndicating. So when you're going down here to your post, let's say, okay, we're going to go and take a look at the post here. Okay, so what would happen is if I didn't have hide that, it would actually have that big picture, that diamond ring here, and then my video below it. What I did is I took that out of the equation. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is when you put the feature image as hide feature image and it just shows into the post, then what's going to happen is it's going to show the picture. If you're choosing to show an image in your recent posts, it's going to show up here. But it's also going to show it in a format like I just showed you here. So this diamond ring, so when you're posting it out, okay, and it comes on your timeline, it's going to look like this. Okay, so you're going to have a small thumbnail of it, and then, of course, your caption, and then a brief description of the first paragraph or whatever that's in there, and then the read more. Depending on your template. Some templates are going to be a little bit different. Some of them may only show the subject line and the picture and nothing else. Okay, so it all depends on what your template is that you've picked it. This particular template is, it's a premium template that I have with Colatu Premium, and it is... whose template is it? I have to think now. Let me just go back and see whose template this is. Let me go to my templates. I guess someone just joined us here.
It's me.
Oh, it's you. Okay, there you go. So on here, on the premium templates, I need to go to the premium ones. It is the one I'm using. Oh, it's Paul Hutchins. That's the one that I'm using right now. So, you know, that's why it has the background that it has. Like I selected this background. It's actually a picture my wife took of Pyramid Lake in Jasper, Alberta. And so I put that as my background. I mean, you could select anything. You could have your own, like Paul Hutchins. You could have a picture of yourself, like Paul. That's Paul on stage at one of the events that he's got there, that he took a picture of that and have that in the background. You can have anything like that. And again, remember, people are visual. So you want to have visual stimulation on your site so that people come in. You don't want to have a boring site, because if you don't have enough visual stimulation, that will stop people from staying a long period of time on your site. So you want to make sure that the visual stimulation is there. And that's why when I go through and I decide to go through and I look at all of the different ones, that's why Empower is so good. They have come out and selected the best themes that I've seen in a long time. Most blog sites are quite boring, actually. You know, so I like to have sites that are stimulant to people, you know, great on the eyes and stuff like that, and even soft on the eyes. Okay, so now we've got that covered. So now let's go back to the post, because there's something else I want to cover on here too. Okay, so going back to this post that I've got in here, we talked about now about the you know, inserting a video. And you know, in all of my posts, I put anywhere from a 2 to 5 minute video in there. You don't want to make them too long, but you know, you want to make sure if they're an impact video, people will watch them even if they're 7 or 8 minutes long, as long as you're providing a lot of value within there that will keep their attention. Okay, I recommend keeping them to around 2 to 5 minutes at the longest. Okay, like 5 minutes at the longest and around 2 minutes at probably the shortest. Okay, always have a call to action below there. So at the end of your video, always say, hey, you know, if you want to get involved right now, just click the button below. Make sure you have a button below here. There's many different buttons. You can make your own. You can find them online. They're all over the place. You know, to say click here to continue, or click the easy button, or whatever it is you want to click on there, right? Or put on there. And then make sure that you have different types of pictures that are related to your content. You know, here I'm talking about, you know, top earners and mindset and so forth. So I want to have things that are specific to that in general. Okay. And then, of course, you want to have your own call to action, where you just tell them to, you know, join now, click the banner, whatever it is, and then have your contact information. Give them a reason to contact you. Okay. Now, the categories. You want to be picking, hang on, I got to just mute out someone here.
Hang on.
I just got to mute out here. Okay, so we'll go back to the screen sharing. Oh, hopefully I haven't lost the screen share. I think I did now. Okay, let me just go back. Okay, so you want to go in, you want to be selecting the category. So, you'll create your own, you can add your own category here, depending, like most people will have like a default or something, right? So, you're going to have the 21-day blogging is going to be one of your defaults. And then I just created like a blogging category, an empower category. I got lead generation, a general, marketing, mindset, personal development. I'm constantly creating different types of added value to my site. And you always want to have value on your blog, okay? Something that people are going to come back to. Everybody has passions about something. If you ever have mind block or writer's block, you can always write about, things that you're passionate about, things that you did the other day, things that you're going to do today. You can always go and follow different leaders like Alex Zubarev or Justin Berengia or Michael Martin or John Oakes or Tracy Walker or anybody that's out there, Lawrence Tam. Any of them out there, find out what they're writing about and then write about something similar. Another thing is that you get emails every single day from Empower Network about different things. You could write about whatever that they've got on there. Maybe, there's the Empower All Access event tonight. You could talk about that on your blog. Write about that and then get people to come back and engage. There's always information. Now, there's also something else that Empower has, and you've probably, if you've been to any of the Kalatu courses, you'll see that they actually have give me an idea, okay, or give me a headline. Okay, and what it does, it gives you an option to type in something that you want to talk about. So let's just go and do a new blog just for the sake of it. I'm just going to show you again. Kalatu training shows you all about this, but I'm just going to show those of you that are maybe getting stuck with things a little bit. So the option is going to come up here. Say, give me a headline. So you click on give me a headline, and then you type in a subject. So I could go fishing, okay? As an example, give me a headline, how to save hours a day fishing, okay? So they're giving you an idea of a headline to use, okay? Now, you could do, give me an idea. Awesome, seasons. So they gave you an idea in here of what you can write about, okay? Or give me another idea. Why do I or don't you write poetry, paint, or sketch? You see, the system is a smart system. It's built to give you, if you got writer's block, it's there to give you ideas. And some of you will resonate with those ideas because maybe one of them will be one of your passions. You go, oh, I never thought to think about that and write about that. So you can write about that. Some of you will write a paragraph about it and maybe throw a video in and talk a little bit more about it. Or maybe some of you are just going to go to town and write a novel. Who knows? Because people get passionate about this. And there's always people on the internet who is going to be passionate about your subject. So how do you get that in front of the eyeballs? Okay. So let's say you write about fishing. Okay. So if you're going to write something about fishing, who do you want to get this in front of? Well, you want to get in front of fishermen, right? Or people who like to fish. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to places like Facebook and you're going to type in fishing. Whoops. See if I can type it right. Fishing. See if I can type it right. Okay. And what it's going to do, it's going to bring up a whole bunch of different fishing categories. Okay. Now you can go in and look at people. See, there's this person here, Chris Harding, he's putting in videos about fishing. Now you can even go further. You could go people, whoops, people who fish. Okay. Oops. People. Okay. Or fishing groups. You can search fishing groups. And then it's going to give you a whole bunch of places you can go. Okay, this isn't quite doing it. Maybe they've changed things a little bit. Okay, so let's see if we click on groups here and we'll type in fishing groups. Maybe that's where I had to go. Ah, there we go. Okay, so we got groups on fishing. Okay, Go Fishing Official Indonesia, Fishing and Outdoors. So you know what? You could go in and ask to be a part of that group. And then once you get into that group, then you could post your blog post. Okay, so you've written a blog post about this. You go and you publish it, and then you have your link. And let's say this is your blog post for that. You just go and you copy this link, and you go, hey, check out my blog post on fishing, and you send that in there. So they're going to come back and they're going to read your blog post on fishing, but they're also going to be engaged into, and I'm going to talk about this thing here that keeps popping out all the time, everything else about joining Empower, that sort of stuff here. So they're going to, all of a sudden now, they're going to be introduced to everything that you're blogging about, okay, and everything that you're involved in. So they're going to come and they're going to read about that. They're going to check out your site, and who knows what else they're going to get involved in that's on this site. Okay, I hope that makes a lot of sense. Now, I don't know if you're still there. Jasmine, are you there? Maybe not. Okay, doesn't look like she is. Okay, so I was just going to see if she wanted to ask any questions. So let me just go back. I don't know if you guys can see my screen now. Oh yeah, still there. Hopefully you guys can still see my screen. Okay, so that's just an example. Now, one of the other things is this plugin, and I love to use this thing. You'll probably see different types of posts from the Kalatu system talking about Slipstream. Okay, Slipstream is what I just showed you here. When I do a refresh, it has a little thing that pops out. Now I have it popping out from the right. You can have it pop out from the top or from the left or from the bottom. And what this does, it's going to pop out here any second now. There it is. Okay, and I got something big coming in 2000. I'm talking about Project Titan. Now, they go and they click on that. Where are they going to go? They're going to go to Generation Hero. I can have that thing showing anything I want off of here. You know, after Generation Hero is over, I could talk about the next event. I could just be sending them. I could change this picture. Okay, I can go in and I can modify this, so I can go in and I can edit, and then I can change the picture to something else and have a link going to something else. Okay, so see, you got the media picture here. I could turn around, put a different picture in here now, and have them going to a different link, which could be to, I don't know, just to my opt-in page, or it could be to something else. Okay, so you have that option to use different things, and you should be using these things. Okay, you know, if you're not on Premium, I highly recommend that you get there, because Premium is going to give you so much more advantages than the basic blog system. Now, some of you, maybe you can't get there. Maybe it's not affordable at this time. So, you know, use the basic blog system. You need to be syndicating every single day, though, okay? Getting into the groups, like the Facebook groups, the communities that are on Google Plus. The same thing with the different networks that are in LinkedIn, you know, Pinterest. You know, start uploading pictures and videos and sending people to your blog. Okay, and if you haven't got your blog set up, we'll at least be sending them to an opt-in link for them to get involved in your business. But you need to be sending people someplace on everything that you do. When you send, this is why your blogs are so powerful, folks, okay? Because when you are doing things with your blog, okay, I'm going to stop sharing here for now. When you're doing things with your blog, the thing that's real powerful is the fact that you're not actually directly pitching anybody, okay? So that's the real cool thing. You know, you're providing value at that point. And that's why it's so important to provide value on your blogs, so that, you know, when you're sending people there, they're going to get value content. Like me, I have different trainings that are on there. I talk about motivation. I talk about inspiration. I give some strategies that are on there, all kinds of stuff. you know, to offer things of value to my readers. And I can post my blog stuff every single day on social media because that's the stuff social media likes. They don't like the pitching of your business every day. They like the fact that you're engaging with your audience and providing value to them, okay? Because when you do that, you draw a big audience. When you draw a big audience, well, that's social media, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or whatever. They're getting higher engagement, which is keeping them on top of the search engines, which is keeping them happy because the people that are investing in their paid advertising are getting value, okay? So, you know, it all works out to everybody's advantage. Working this way here, you don't get thrown in Facebook jail, right? Because you're posting good valued content off of your blog, as long as you're not pitching every single post on your blog. You know, make sure it's all valued. This is how you're going to build a following. And when you have a following, what happens? People tend to want to get involved in your business, okay? So, Jasmine, you around?
Yes, I'm here.
There you go. Okay, so I'm not sure if you caught much of what I just trained on, but
I've been listening about multitasking. I definitely have to watch it again to recap everything that's been mentioned. Just to give I'm not sure who's on the hangout, but guys, I'm a single woman. I'm 28. I'll be 29 in a few months, and I'm not new to the internet marketing industry. I've known about it since I was 21, but you know, being aware about it, I've never had no guidance until I met Carl. And to be brief about what happened, man, I feel like I was about to give up. My current situation right now is I'm staying with my parents due to bad and poor decisions I've made in my early 20s, and I'm constantly just progressing and making someone of myself, if that made any sense. But if it wasn't for this guy, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Just being, in contact with, Carl kind of gave me an uplifting stepping stone and keep pushing myself to where I want to be in life. Because I don't have anything to look forward to other than just Empower Network. I've known about it since the pre-launch, and seeing, how, hyped and motivated they are, it gave me, the push that I would want to really just say, you know what, I need something to believe in. And, it's on my mind every day. It's on my mind every day. And today I just got up and I need guidance. I have no guidance. I have nobody, no role model, kind of mentor. And I got it, and I called today, and I'm just like, man, look, this isn't every day I do this. I'm crying, I'm being negative right now, and it's unlike me because I've been positive for a whole year since knowing about the law of attraction, And I'm telling you, this company is just one of the main companies I've ever seen where they say you're not in business by yourself, but you're in business for yourself. And I look at it as a family gathering kind of family, business kind of family, and people are out here saying it's a scam. I'm like, well, you know what? Those are people's opinions, These are the same people that's not even probably giving it a chance to see what they can make out of it. So I don't, focus on negative. I don't focus on how they criticize the Empower Network. We are talking about realistic people who are millionaires today, and they have come from nothing. We have different kinds of people in this in this company come from different backgrounds. Drug addiction, single women that are taking care of 3 kids, even 4 kids. You have men that are coming from different backgrounds, and look where they are today. This should be the prime example of why people are looking up to these kind of people. I look up to Carl. I look up to anybody that has, similar background. For those that, I'm probably not making any sense here, but if you understand what I'm saying, I'm just going to leave it at that. I feel like I'm mumbling on right now, but I believe in this company, bottom line, and I don't see myself, growing, pushing, motivating myself, and finding others other than the Power Network.
Well, and that's so true. I mean, that I thought the same way because, I get the mentoring from my sponsor, who's Alex Zubarev. You know, I have the access to all of the things. And we are like Bones Big Family, like you said. You know, I mean, our team does our own trainings, and I'm talking about team consistency within Empower Network. You know, Alex Zubarev, Michael Martin, John Oakes, all the others, David Weber, Jason Majou, all of them that are all connecting in and participating and helping build the strength within each individual, you know. And this is what allows us to keep ourselves in a positive mindset. Because, folks, look, you know, a lot of reason why most people tend to have negative impact in anything that they try online is because they don't have the positive reinforcement of mentoring and so forth in business. And we're very fortunate here with this team that we have that. And the company, you know, years ago, like everybody knows, this is my second stint back with Empower Network. And, you know, in the first couple of years when I was with them, you know, it was funny that they had awesome products, and they still do today. Their products, in my opinion, are like 100 times better than they were 2 years ago. And back then, I was sold heavily on them. And that's because of they've never changed. They've always been there. The mentorship has always been there. David Wood, you know, he was always on the Monday night calls with things, and then he's progressed, and where he has brought everybody else on here. I mean, there's such a huge progression in this company and strength in it. And that goes for the blog platform that is absolutely phenomenal. I'm a blogger, have been for 10 years. And this is, in my opinion, the best blog platform there is online. Okay. And it's the best blog platform to syndicate online, which is even bigger and more compelling for me to get people in because of what we can do with that. And, you know, I think I've shown that in the last couple of sessions here on just how powerful this platform is. And, you know, I appreciate, you know, the comments, Jasmine, but, you know, I'm only part of the puzzle. And I'm so happy to be part of that puzzle for you. But, you know, I see how driven you are. I see how driven so many people are out there to make things happen. It's just a matter of just plugging in. You know what? If you're sitting out there and you're still on the fence about things and you're still got that skepticism inside your head, you know what I'm going to tell you today? I'm going to tell you that whoever invited you to this hangout here of mine or any other ones that our team do, get back to that person. You know what? Come on board with them for $7. You can try test this thing out for 14 days. Test us out for 14 days. See if we're actually true to our word, whether we follow up with you, whether we plug you into everything. I'll plug you into everything for 14 days. It'll cost you $7 to get all the knowledge you possibly can in 14 days. And if after that you don't like it, hey, we're still friends. You can walk away, and you know what? At least you would have gotten something out of it. You know, we'll still stay connected and still share resources and still share mentorship and stuff like that. I'm cool with that, okay? But, you know, before you prejudge anything, know what we're all about, okay? Jasmine is a perfect example. She sits there, you know, she works 2 part-time jobs, okay? But she still makes a point of coming back here every day, participating in Hangouts, listening to the videos, following and doing what she knows she needs to do in order to change her life, going from working 2 part-time jobs to having 1, I guess, full-time part-time job, sitting at home, making money with us, okay? And it's just a matter of time for her. You know, I can see her, you know, I'm working with her. I can see her in 90 days from now, not having to commute to 2 more jobs anymore and making more money online than she will be with those 2, because it's very possible. You know, if you don't think making $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month is impossible, you need to start rethinking things, because in a normal offline world, I can understand that. You know, making $10,000, $20,000 a month, those are executive incomes in any business you look at. The funny thing is that even a $5,000 a month income is what they would call a middle to upper class income, okay? And yet online, $5,000 a month is the low end of the scale in network marketing. If you're making $5,000 a month, you're like I don't know, I'm going to use quote unquote the peon in the industry. You're just making itsy bitsy money. Okay. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but I used to think making $5,000 a month, making $3,000 a month wasn't achievable until I started making $5, $10, $50, and even $30,000 in a single month. That I never thought was possible. And I've had that, you know, so I know that anything out there is possible. And if you have the right mentoring and you have the right resources, like a blog system like we have, and don't get that thing out of your head about, oh, blog, that's so much work. I'm telling you, I can show you how to do a blog in 15 minutes a day. It takes me 10 to 15 minutes to do my blog every day. And I have it syndicated out, and my blog drives traffic, it drives me leads, and it drives me sales. Okay. And then I'm also going to show you how to syndicate everything. We're going to teach you how to do solo ads properly. We're going to teach you how to market email advertise, all kinds of stuff. I mean, this is it. This is what you are looking for. Okay. And I can't express that any harder than I am right now, because every day I have people coming to me saying, can you please teach me? And I go, I don't need to teach you. I need to just plug you in to where it all is. Because I could never teach what this company has done for me. This company changed my life financially. I struggled for years. I mean, I've been in this industry 36 years. And it's only been in the last 4 to 5 years that I've actually started making any money in this industry. And it's been since I got involved with this company. Okay. I struggled at trying to make $2,000 a month, because I left the corporate income in 2002, 2003, where I was making $48,000 to $55,000 a year. That was pretty good money back then. Okay. And I was getting laid off because we lost the contract where we were. And I had to make a decision. Was I going to go out and try and find another job? Or was I going to change? Was I going to make a change and do things myself? Okay. And I chose to do things myself. Did I struggle? Yeah, I did. I struggled very, very hard. And it took me 5 or 6 years before I finally met Empower Network. Actually, I was working with Alex Zubarev for years before that, and he joined Empower Network. And then he told me about it 2 days later, and I came on board. And then I actually didn't really do anything for about 8 months, because there was a lot of stuff that they were still trying to get figured out at the beginning. So I waited, and then I came on board, and then I started buying all the product, right? And once I bought all the product, that's when the light bulb came on for me. I realized what I was doing wrong. That all these years that I had been struggling out there, been in this industry, never giving up, okay, I finally found the solution here. And the solution isn't as hard as anybody thinks. It's just you got to plug into it. And yeah, it costs money, but all education does, okay? You want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a teacher, or whatever, you're going to go to college, you're going to pay for that education. Why should you not here? You want to make $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 a year? Is $5,000 too much to spend to make that? Do you have to do it all at once? No. Can you? Yes. Should you? Possibly, depending on where you want to get in your life. Now, some of you can't do that at the beginning. Some of you are probably near broke, and I get that because I was there myself at one time. Okay? But following, even at the basic entry level in this company, we can show you how to create $1,000 to $2,000 a month within 60 days. Okay? It's not that hard. Okay? All you do is you follow the simple 8 core steps, 8 core commitments, we call them. You follow that, and you're not going to have a problem with it. Here's the issue why most people don't make money online. Most people don't make money because they don't follow direction. They don't want to listen. Their egos are too big. They have been tainted by different things in the industry. I know, I was there. I was one of those tainted egos where I thought I knew everything and I really knew nothing because I've been in the industry that long and still hadn't been making $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So I was considered one of those little peons, no matter how long I'd been in the industry. You know, if you really want to take your life to a different level, you have to engage. And first of all, you have to take your ego and you have to put it on the shelf. Now, that's going to take a lot of work. And in fact, you're probably going to, like my good friend Darren Little told me, is you're probably going to cry a lot. It's going to hurt that you're going to cry, you know, and it did, because, you know, I nearly broke down when I had to make my change, because I was so used to going in one, and I had to completely change to go in a different direction. And it was tough. I struggled for a long time with that, but I finally got rid of that. I dumped the ego that was stopping me from going where I needed to go. I started to listen because, you know, 36 years in the industry, you know everything, you know, don't let people tell you what to do because you know it all. It's like that saying where you are a, what's that saying? Jack of all trades, but master of none, right? Okay, that's kind of what I was in network marketing. I was a jack of everything. I knew how to do everything, but I was successful at none. Okay, I know how to do a solo ad. I know how to do posting here. I know how to do all that there. I just didn't know how to do it right. And it took me a while to let people mind cleanse me to get me to go in the right direction. And I'm telling you, you know, I have helped so many people. Even in the last few months, I've helped people make money in this business. And all I asked them to do was take a $7 14-day trial. And when they came on board, Jasmine, I think you were one of them, okay? When they came on board, Empower Network exposed to them everything that they were about, provided them with abundance of information. I plugged Jasmine into everything I possibly could, into Facebook groups, into Skype chats, everything to provide her with information. And I do that with everybody in my organization. And this is what Empower does too. They get you involved. They send you reminder emails every day of the training going on. Even when you're on the trial, you can participate in those. Okay? You can even make money in there for 14 days selling the $7 trial. So, you know, I don't know what other way to actually get this message across to anybody. But, you know, the only thing I can say is you got to get rid of the ego, because that's what's stopping you from going forward. I get people every day that even connect with me and say, you know, Carl, you know, you keep pitching this Empowered Network thing. I'm in this rev share. I'm making a ton of money. That's great. I'm so happy you're making money. But why did you ask me if I could teach you how to do things? Well, if you're doing so well, why the hell did you need my information? Why do you need me to train you? And then when I tell you that go here and get the training, you get mad at me. You see, that's the ego that stops everybody. That's the first thing. Everybody goes into defense mode immediately. You know, I get pitched every day on different things. And, you know, my response back, I used to be that guy that got all angry and everything and defensive, right? Now I just say, you know what? I appreciate you sharing that with me. Although right now I'm highly focused on learning more about how to market this industry, that this is where my focus is, that I just can't take any other focus away from that. However, you know, if you're struggling like I was, you know, I could show you how you can get into this kind of information for $7. Let me know. And that's as far as I go. I never give my link out to anybody anymore unless they ask for it. You know, sometimes I'll post it on social media or something like that occasionally, but a lot of them I'm driving to my blog and I let my blog do all the work because it does a heck of a job. It does what I need for it. And then when people go in and they take the $7 trial, well, then I got the Empower Network system doing it all. They do all the follow-up for me. I don't have to do anything. Okay? It's one of the best funnel follow-up systems I've ever had in my entire career. Now, agree with me? Don't agree with me? That's fine. That's your ego talking. Okay? Totally up to you. But somebody shared this with you today, so you should get back to them and take that trial. You know, I challenge you for that. Okay? And anything else you go to, if someone invites you to an Empower Hour or an All Access or something else, go to it. Find out what we're all about before making a judgment on just reading an email. Okay? A lot of times people will send me stuff to go to, and I do, and I go to them. And I will go and I will continue to go and look at these things. And, you know, if it's for me, I'll stay till the end. I may not join it, but I want to find out what kind of information everybody's pitching me. It's always good to have good knowledge of what's going on. Just because they pitch it to you, don't get defensive about it. You know, if you're interested, go. If you're curious, go. You don't have to join. I'm just saying, find out what's going on. Find out why, you know? And if people are just pitching links to you, you know, you can always do this. And this is what I do. You know, I had a lady that came back to me because I gave her my blog link, and she just ripped the shreds out of me on LinkedIn. And I wrote back to her and I says, you know, I appreciate, you know, that your feedback here, but all I was doing was sharing a link with some value-added information. I'm not sure why that offended you, right? Because I didn't give you a link to sign up to any of my businesses. I just gave you a blog link. Now, why would you have been offended by that and got back? Well, I saw Empower Network on there. So? It's a blog. I didn't pitch you. I just gave you an information link. So, Jasmine, before we wrap up here, because I know you got to head out to work, you got any last things you got to say?
I'm not sure if anybody is anybody on the call here?
They may not, but it's probably they may be listening later.
Okay. Well, not that I can really think of. There was one thing I did want to mention, just what you had mentioned about me. I am working 2 part-time jobs, and it's a struggle, but you know, like I said, you know, with the Power Network, it's a push for me, because just getting the name for me, and it may sound silly, but I know that I'm gonna be there. I know I'm gonna be there one day. I've always thought about seeing myself on stage and collecting one of those checks. But more importantly for me, I like to help people. I'm a very passionate person for helping. So, you know, being at my job that I love, it's, you know, it's a push for me to say I'm very happy where I'm at, even though it's just being a cashier. You know, I take it to the best of my advantage, because being at my other jobs, I wasn't allowed the freedom to help my customers. And being at my job here at Food Lion, you know, I'm able to do that. I don't have my customer service managers telling me, you know, you're not allowed to, you know, help customers pay for their food. I had that I think it was 3-4 years ago. I wasn't able to do that, but being here, I've been here for almost a year now. This upcoming April, I love my job. I've built my relationships. I've learned how to build my relationships being at this job. I've been given a small raise that none of the cashiers knows about. From my store manager, who loves my attitude, who loves my positivity, who loves why I love my job. And also got a story down on me through the company store, you know, the company that owns Food Lion, through a woman that worked there. Thank God. You know, I've gotten customers compliments so many days in a row. It's ridiculous. So that being said, you know, I love being able to help people. I love being able to inspire people. I love to hear people saying, you know what, you encourage me, you inspire me, you empower me, you know, you help me self-motivate myself. You know, that's what gets me to saying Empower Network will be the company. I see myself being there on stage, speaking, preaching, maybe even lecturing for all I know. You need to make a change. You know you need to make a change. You have to be willing with an open mind to do whatever it takes, whether if it's financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever the change is, you must be the reason why you were changing. And I'll leave it at that.
Wow, Tracy Walker would be proud of you hearing that.
Thank you.
So there you go. So everyone, thanks again for hanging out with us here today. For those of you that were coming on and off, and then for those of you that will listen, thanks for joining both Jasmine and myself here today. I'll be back next Tuesday. I'll go through a few more things. Probably be talking more about syndicating in social media now that we've covered the blog part. And you have any suggestions, let me know, and I'll get on and cover them. So thanks again. Have a great day. Jasmine, thanks for joining me here today. And enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.